Okay, good afternoon. Today I'm here with Mario Magriplis, restaurateur, owner, operator of Charlie's Ocean Grill in Long Branch and the Blue Swan Diner in Ocean Township, New Jersey. Good afternoon, Mario. How are you? How's your
Great.
family?
Everyone's great, thank God. Very nice to see you. I hope everyone's okay and your
Everybody's good here.
family's healthy.
Yes, thanks for asking. Everything's doing well.
All right, thanks for having me. Nice and nice to see you,
You too.
even if it's remotely.
Mario, you got two restaurants. Have you closed both of them or are you open for takeout? What are you doing?
So initially, when the shutdown was announced, we tried to keep both of them open with takeout and delivery, and accommodate our customers and try to keep as many people employed at the same time. But currently, only one of our restaurants is open for takeout, delivery, and we've added some other services as well. Charlie's, unfortunately, was not sustainable for the takeout business, and it saddens me to say that we had to temporarily shut down until we see what is how this whole mess is going to pan out. And
So,
we're still open at the Blue Swan Diner, where we're doing takeout, we're doing delivery. We started a new grocery service, where we're doing either curbside grocery pickup along with like takeout food, mostly like a convenience to people, help alleviate, all these big lineups that are being building up in supermarkets. And we also offer the grocery service as a delivery service as well.
well, that's an interesting parallel, really. You have a casual restaurant with a liquor license, and you have an old school diner that's been around for dozens of years. What's the difference in operating them before the shutdown? And you just told us after the shutdown, but before the shutdown, what's the big difference in operating those two?
Right. Well, in general, my philosophy is that every business in itself is different, right? So we could be talking about two restaurants or two diners, and the entrepreneur's approach might be different regardless of the fact that they're in the same, let's say, subset of the restaurant industry. uh every area has a different clientele, different types of customers, different employees, different layout. So starting from there, the approach can't be a cookie cutter approach. You need to kind of adjust your approach and your strategy in each business according to what you have to work with. And having said that, the diner and a restaurant are completely different. One is fast pace, high turnover, low on the lower end on the pricing range, and a much larger menu and options. Whereas the other restaurant and bar is more of an experience. You have higher ticket averages, a longer wait time for the whole experience to come to an end. um, and then location is a big factor in the differences as well. One business is on a highway, on a main highway, a little more centrally located. Charlie's is by the ocean, where seasonality plays into the business as well. So even from like season to season, the business in itself changes in terms of volume and the clientele. So they're completely different, but some values are the same no matter what. you know uh, Tending to customers and making them feel at home and comfortable, and doing your best to make them feel happy and that they got a good value for their money. So these concepts, I think, are universal in any type of restaurant business you're discussing, whether it's a quick serve or fast casual or even high end. Value for money and a positive experience and feeling like you're part of a family and a community is always important, no matter what.
Yeah, that last one's real important. People like to to be recognized when they come in and to have an owner on site to greet them. And that's a very important part of the restaurant business. You mentioned you closed down Charlie's, which was on the ocean in Long Branch. But in one way, you're fortunate there. You have an SBA mortgage, and according to the new CARES Act, the SBA is going to be paying your mortgage for 6 months. Has that started yet?
That's starting next month, and it's a great service and great help. It gives us some time to, recoup, and basically gives us the opportunity to stay alive, because as you know, margins are really thin in the restaurant industry. Cash flow sometimes could be more important than profit. And, once you cut the cash flow, even if you're a profitable business, if you don't have, capital to support you, you're not going to make it. And a lot of operators are probably experiencing the same difficulties. And, I hope everybody can find some way to stay alive. It's saddening to see. But the SBA has been a big help in terms of, alleviating us of these 6 months of payments. And hopefully that'll give us the time to regroup, rethink our strategy, rethink our concept. And by then, hopefully open our doors to our customers that we, miss.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure the customers are missing you too. Charlie's was always a local place, a go-to place for the people in Long Branch.
Yeah.
How about any other the federal stimulus bill programs, like the payroll protection program or the SBA disaster loan or grants? Have you applied for any of those?
Right. So initially, the field was really confusing, still is. We didn't know, which we would qualify for, what was the right, stimulus plan for us, and if we were allowed to apply for both or not, or, it's really confusing. Everyone's trying to figure this out, I think, including, the federal government and probably a lot of, the state legislators and authorities as well, along with the small banks. So, everybody's working together to figure it out and to do it right. Initially, we applied for both, the PPP and the EPLI or EIPL. So we applied for both, and then we realized that the PPP is actually the proper route. And for one of our restaurants, we already received the PPP recently, and we're going to be thankfully paying our employees. And for the other one, we're still on hold, waiting for the second round of funding to come.
Well, that's interesting. Which bank did you go through that you already received your funds?
Actually, our mortgage holder, Republic Bank, which is an SBA bank, and they're helping us on the mortgage, and they, followed through for the PPP as well.
Wow, that's terrific. Yeah, that's good for have a bank like Republic behind you there.
That's great.
How about
they've been really helpful.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I'm sure Arnie Horvath would like to hear that. That's for sure.
Arnie's the man.
During this, downturn, when you're closed and you're, only doing takeout at the Blue Swan Diner, are you making any changes, whether they be physical, operational, or concept driven?
We're making a lot of changes. Generally speaking, I'm, and my partner and I, we're the kind of operators that are always looking forward to change, no matter how successful a business might be at a moment in time. We understand that nothing is forever. Unfortunately, we never anticipated that forever would end this way. I mean, it's a very unlikely scenario that we're living in, and still, there's a lot of things that we've been working on and never brought to fruition, and now's the time to do it. Like in terms of delivery, or upgrading your takeout business, or doing more catering business, or even like this grocery service that we're doing and selling a lot of our own homemade recipes on like different dressings, sauces, gravies, coleslaw, marinara sauce, pancake batter, rice pudding. I mean, these are a lot of our house recipes that people love and frequent our business to get all the time. And, you know, you never know. It might be an opportunity to branch outside of our restaurant as well. But for now, we're doing it mostly to, you know, keep things going, keep people employed, accommodate our customers, and, you know, give them some of the things that they miss as well. And if it ever, you know, grows into something more, that'd be great.
How about that fabulous cheesecake at the Blue Swan Diner? Are you
It's,
selling that?
if people need it now more than ever. That's what I say. You know? So we're selling cheesecake every day.
What do you sell it by the box? You're selling the whole cakes?
We sell it by the piece or by the box. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
And let me
great
tell
item.
you,
That's
people are coming to get that every day. That and our rice pudding.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know, and
great item. Listen, I know that you were planning some major renovations at Charlie's before this COVID virus hit. What happened to those? Are they on hold
it was
now? Or?
unfortunately they're on hold. We were supposed to be finishing our renovations now. You know, we were planning on being ready by end of April. And we were starting right when the week of the shutdown, we were supposed to start renovations. And, you know, that was hard to deal with because, you know, we've given a lot of down payments. We've engaged a lot of people. We were looking forward to, you know, renovating and putting forth, you know, a new, fresh concept for everyone, especially for our customers in the community. And that's been put on hold.
Hmm.
But it's going to happen. We're just going to see, you know, when the right time is now, and it's still going to happen. We're always, you know, confident that things are going to change eventually. We don't know when, we don't know how, but that we don't back out on our plans. So this was a minor setback. Hopefully it'll happen sooner than later.
And as you said, you know, we don't know when this is going to end. We don't know how it's going to end. But if I were to ask you today, what do you think that the restaurant landscape is going to look like when this crisis does end?
Things are definitely going to change. I think the world is going to change. Our culture has changed. You know, whenever the world experiences an event like this, you know, such a large event, things change in our culture, and you know, we're going to have to adapt. We're going to have to change. A lot of us are not going to survive. A lot of us, meaning, you know, people in the restaurant business, we're not going to survive this shift, and the rest are going to have to change and adapt, and whatever that means for all of us. I mean, we could discuss scenarios all day, but in reality, you know, even the people making the decisions, you know, politicians making decisions, or doctors that are leading policy, don't really know what is going to happen. And, you know, I think it's a little premature to say, you know, this is what's going to happen. And from an operator's perspective, the best thing we could do right now is just be as flexible and as lean as possible, you know, until that day comes.
Right. Well, a lot of the industry professionals are, you know, one thing they are projecting is that, you know, seating capacities are going to have to be toned down in restaurants. Now, I know in the Blue Swan Diner, you know, that diner's in the town that I live in. You pack them in there on a Sunday morning. You know, you're shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. Yep.
What if you have to take, you know, some seats out of there to accommodate, you know, your customer base when they return?
We're definitely talking about a situation that is highly possible, at least until vaccine is found. I see it happening. You know, business models are not going to be sustainable when you're, especially for high turnover businesses. You know, a fine dining establishment might have an easier time than a casual place. And that's just because, you know, your higher ticket average allows you the opportunity to pace tables properly, to give that, you know, safe distance between those tables. And also, you know, through upselling and higher ticket averages, you could sustain a business. Now, a high volume place is going to be a nightmare. And, we could all try takeout and delivery all we want, but that is for a business that has a small footprint. That's not going
Right,
to keep
right.
people's business models afloat. So, we're discussing for a place that has a larger footprint and, more area to cover. Business models need to be adjusted. Leases need to be renegotiated. Contracts, need to be renegotiated. Vendor agreements need to be renegotiated. And then, your whole layout and, square footage needs to be renovated to a point where you're making as many sales as possible per square foot.
Well,
And it can't be tables, it can't be seats, it can't be countertops, it can't be all, bar area or whatever. So you need to rethink your whole dining room layout. And to be honest, I see more of a market type, bodega type of layout for, casual establishments.
well, one advantage you might have on the ocean with Charlie's is that you have outdoor seating, and that people might feel more comfortable sitting outdoors with some space between them when they come back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But, even so, that remains to be seen, because a lot of new developments and, coming from this virus are coming out. So, from day to day, that might change. We're seeing different ways that it's spread, or, different threats, and everyone is trying to, adapt accordingly. And I think once we have more information that is a little more conclusive, then we'll be able to adjust our social behaviors accordingly. And business is really going to build around that.
Well, I know we spent some time. I appreciate your time. I want to wrap up with this one question. Actually, it's a two-part question for you, Mario. What advice, if any, would you like to share with your fellow restaurateurs? And the second part of that question is, what would you like to say to your customers?
To people in the industry, hang in there, be strong. But at the same time, now's not the time to have false hopes and just be hopeful that things are going to get back to normal. You gotta move, you gotta change, you have to adapt, you have to stay flexible, you have to be lean, and we have to find a way to go forward. And that might not be the way it was in the past, unfortunately. It might be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but until then, we have to make sure that we survive. And that means, in order to survive, we also have to build better communities among restaurant operators and owners and professionals. And we have to help each other get through this, meaning, reach out to your neighbor that was once your competitor, and you said, oh, it's either me or him. And, help him out. Say, I'm doing this, it's working for me. Try it out, find a better way to work all together. I mean, and that goes into, our communities as well. Now these times are difficult. We all need to help each other in whatever little way possible we can to get through this. So that's what I have to say to operators. Hang in there, find a way, build communities. Let's build communities amongst us, and then let's find a way to give back to our customers in the communities, out there. And to my customers, all I have to say is, both places, we miss them. I miss, talking to people, seeing people, shaking their hand and giving them good food, good service, and hearing that compliment, like, we had such a great time and it was so memorable. And, that's really what we were doing it for. And we're not getting that now. I mean, we are getting the love, whether it's through social media or phone calls. Occasionally we'll see someone pick some food up, or I might see them on the road or something, and it always warms my heart. But, that personal daily interaction is missing from all of us. And I really hope, we could get there, back there one day.
Well, me too. I hope it's soon, Mario. I hope this ends very
Hope so
soon
too.
for
I hope
you,
so
for
too.
all the restaurant people, for all Americans. I thank you for your time. Say hello to your partner, Frank, from me,
Thank
and,
you. I will.
keep the faith. That's it.
Nice talking to you.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye bye. You too.